What is going on, people? You're now tuned into the Bong Talk Sit-Down Series, and I'm your host, Nappy 2000. Let me put the sponsors up on the screen so you can see them real quick. I'm going to see if I can memorize them without looking at them. Bust Down Worldwide, Plain Jane, Happy Trees, Shrubs, El Toro Verde, Rocker Rollers, Vacay, Turtle Pico, Green Dog Cultivators, and I think that's all of them. Was that all of them? That was all the sponsors of the show, and today we are highlighting Green Dog Cultivators, and this is Dog Bones. It's a 3-pack, 1 gram pre roll, and we're gonna try this right now. Shouts out to Barney, who blessed us with this on the show. I really appreciate him for just doing this constantly. So we're gonna actively see what this hits like, and then I'm gonna introduce our very, 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 very special guest in the building today. That tastes really good. So today, I have a very, very, very special guest in the building. I have the man who
Amen.
has written the Blue Bible. I have the man who is letting us know what it really means to be a black man or a niggas in this world. I have the one and only Crip Jesus in
Amen.
the building.
Thank you for having me, man. Shout out to Nappy 2000. It's Crip Jesus, the blue God, the true God, author of the Blue Bible, leader of the Black Illuminati. And right now I'm smoking on Turtle Pie Co.
Turtle Pie Co.
Yeah,
Yes.
going crazy.
Grits and jam
hmm
in the leaf.
Yeah, this hitting right here. I ain't gonna lie. I
It
appreciate you.
smelled good too.
Yeah,
It smelled good too. It smelled good too. So yeah, again, thank you for coming on the show. Shouts out to Jazz for linking us first
yeah.
and
Shout out to
foremost.
Jazz.
Yeah, shouts out to her for linking us with that. And our first conversation that we had on the phone, I was like, oh yeah, bro, we
Oh
most
yeah.
definitely.
As soon as you said, as soon as I mentioned Gullah Geechee, we hit on that. It was on from there.
And then we talked about the Nova black people in Nova Scotia.
hmm
We went there with the black ice. That was I think that was a wrap because you're the only other person that I know that knows about Africaville
Yeah,
in
but
Nova Scotia. So
I
that's
don't know
very
why I
dope.
didn't bring the book, the Black Indian Wars. I don't know
Oh,
why I didn't bring it, but
mm,
yeah, I talk about it in there for sure.
yeah. So that's
Going all
really
the way back to the Maroons in Jamaica and all that for
yep,
sure.
yep. Getting their
hmm
independence, getting their own land. What we're talking about, if
Definitely.
anyone didn't know, this is just some random black history for y'all. Before there was actually the baseball league for African people or for black people, there was a hockey league. It was from 1895 all the way to 1921. So the first league that black people ever actually had was hockey. Just throwing that out there for y'all. Very dope. But yo, bro, talk about the Blue Bible, bro, and just what the purpose was in doing that.
So for one, personally, I wanted to write. I mean, a lot of people that go to prison and get out,
Yeah.
tell their story, their testimony, and write a book. I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to, when I was in prison, I got initiated in the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. Then from there, I learned about the Moorish Science Temple, and then I got out and continued that. So I wanted to write a book about that journey because that was my journey. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really care too much about which fades I called, who got stabbed
Right,
and
right,
all that.
right.
You know what I mean? I really felt like everybody around me had that story. It was nothing special about that.
Yeah.
At least at my point of my generation and coming into the game. So that was an obvious reason to write a book. But then uh, as I got out and kind of journeyed through these organizations and journeyed through the streets, like traveling state to state, different things, and even going on No Jumper and
Yep. Yep.
just
Speaking your truth on
it,
there.
it brought a whole nother element to what I had wrote up to that point already. So it made it way deeper than just a story of my story of, nigga going to jail, transform and get smart. It became like a lot of information,
Yeah. Yeah.
esoteric information even that I seen that wasn't spoke on. Some things people knew but didn't really delve too much into as far as in the books. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I felt it was imperative that I wrote these things. Just for example, like in prison, when I first learned about Moorish science, it wasn't from YouTube. It wasn't like I was walking down the street and saw somebody with a turban. It was from some
Right.
bloods in
Right.
prison.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know that the BPS bloods out here in LA, they tied to Chicago and the Moors and all of that. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
I
Okay.
won't say too much, but what I'm saying
Mhm.
is
Mhm. Mhm.
my journey into that information was started there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Feel me? My journey
That's where it
into
originated. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. For you. Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
before that, I talk about how just growing up, I'm seeing them tagging pyramids and all of that, wondering what am I looking at. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I show how my journey into just political information, as far as the Panthers and the BGF and all of that. Munster Cody. Now, what's crazy about it is when I went to juvenile hall, I read his book called Munster. 14 years later, I'm in the pen. I'm with him. He's teaching me, man, you should be an author when you get out, man. You got some
That's
crazy
just
stories.
crazy.
See what I'm saying?
That's the
So
that.
it became deeper than just my
Right. Right.
story.
Right.
It became obvious to me that it was a reason these things were happening like this. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So as I showed through the book, as I progressed through my life, the information progressed as far as like what was being revealed to me.
Because I remember we were talking on the phone. You were saying when you were locked up, you actually said it was probably best that you were in there compared to being on the streets at that time too.
Yeah.
Compared to, because you were saying if you were on the streets, you were probably would have been not really as focused on
Oh,
that information.
well, beyond not
Yeah, yeah. Maybe not even been on this earth type shit. You know what I mean?
that too, because I was running the streets. But to be real, I think we like to talk like that because it's just like it goes with the sensation of the streets. I mean, a lot of the best planner. So
Yeah.
I wasn't tough like that because I was on some suicidal stuff. I just same way I move now. I'm brave. I feel like as long as my intentions are pure, the means to the ends. Hey. So I say all that to say it was really more what you first said.
Yep.
There was no way at all I would have studied in that manner if I would have been in prison. For one, yeah, the focus and all of that. But for two, the organization I joined. Now let me show you what I mean. The 5%ers, when I was growing up in LA in the 90s, I grew up in Leimert Park specifically. That's the part of LA I grew up in. So the 5%ers were headquarters in Leimert Park at that time. I still didn't know who or what they were. I heard the Wu-Tang music. I heard the Erykah Badu. My mama knew. I remember one time my mama brought one of the guys to the house. And he was trying to convince me to wear their jacket. And when I asked him what the symbols meant, my mom stopped him. Like, I guess she wasn't ready for me to hear it. Just say it plainly like that. The black man is God. The white man is the devil. Like, woo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
how old would you have been if that were the case?
I was about 12 or 13 at that time.
That would have shook the system a little bit. It would have shook the system.
I'll say this, though. Even the way I learned it, like you said, it wasn't even just prison. Like, okay, I was in prison, and I started reading, studying, and going down that path, and that book stood out to me. That book, like y'all read my mind. So it was a book called God's Earths and 85ers. Me knowing those terms.
God's books and 85ers.
No, God's Earths.
God's Earths
and 85ers.
And 85ers.
Earths is what we refer to the women as in the nation. At that time, I didn't know that. It just sounded cool to me, like Earths, like different Earths.
It's a great title.
Yeah, like, damn,
it's a great title.
Shit, God's Earths and 85ers.
An 85er. What's
now,
this?
85ers, I didn't know exactly what that was, but I knew that was like, I called it God body lingo. Now, I didn't know, any 5% So I got the book, read it, and that was my first understanding of what the 5% Nation was. I went to Salinas Valley. I got that book. I was at CMC. When I went to Salinas Valley, one of the homies from 30s, once again, initiation coming from gang.
Yep.
He sees the book. He says, "Oh, you into that? They got a class up here." I said, "Class what?" He said, "Class, the Nation of Gods." I said, "They got a class up here? Hell no."
Who's teaching this class?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So I go to the class. Was one of the guys. He was official. He had all the books, everything. He was, you know what I mean? He was helping us get our 120. But he seen I like to read, so he told me before I get my 120, which is what they make you study, I got to read these other books. So he had me reading like books on anthropology, Karl Marx, communism, all type of shit.
Okay,
like he was taking advantage. Once he seen I'll read whatever he give me.
Yeah,
he just was like, you got to read this too.
Yeah,
you got to read this too,
bro. Just read this.
You know
shit.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then,
out of all those books that he gave you, what's one of the ones that stood out?
Karl Marx and Frederick Engels, the book on communism. It was like a collection of all their writings, and it stood out because I wouldn't read it at first. It was too much. It was damn near 1,000 pages, and each page was like crammed in little tiny words. Yeah. I was like, I'm never reading this. It's not gonna happen. So it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
I would try to read maybe a couple pages and fall asleep. But it's not gonna happen. So I never forget. This is funny as hell. The homie get out the hole. He's like, "Man, I need a book to read." So I give it to him. He come back. He's really reading it because he just got the hole, so he don't have nothing to sell. He don't got no TV. He got no radio. He don't have no distraction. And he's excited. He's like, "Oh, cuz, I'm set, cuz, man. That shit deep, nigga. You see that shit, man?" Ooh. And I'm lying. I'm like, yeah. He's like, "But you see the part where they said, ooh?" I'm like, yeah, that part, yeah. So I'm like, man. Now I'm curious, like, damn,
I gotta see what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta see what this nigga talking about. What the fuck? So he give it back to me. I'm like, I don't see what he's talking about. I keep falling asleep.
Yeah.
And I just said, man, I'm gonna finish this book. I'm gonna understand what the fuck they talking about. And I damn near finished it. I think I got to like 700 and some pages. It was damn near 1,000. And by then I started writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started writing about the economic system and how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? I became a motherfucking economist.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I think one of the best books I think out of prison was "So on Ice" by Eldridge Cleveland.
Yeah, I read that.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, a book written by a prisoner. That's good. Is it what you asking?
Yeah. Well,
out of actual prison.
Mm-hmm.
It was banned. This book was banned, but one of my homies had it, and I was able to read it. It's called "Blood in My Eye" by George Jackson.
"Blood in My Eye" by George Jackson.
He started. He started the BGF, the Black Guerrilla Family.
Okay.
Yeah, he found that. So yeah, that book is sick. That book is sick. That's a cold book right there. Yeah, they banned that book. First they banned it in California. I think it's banned in all the prisons now. Yeah.
There you go.
And you know what's cold? I first heard of it from Ja Rule. Because Ja Rule had an album called "Blood in My Eye" in 2003. And I was like, where you get that name from? Like it was.
I found "So on Ice" from Razkaz.
See? So yeah,
Hip-hop.
man. Hip-hop, yeah. So that's Blue Bible basically.
Yeah.
It's just the streets. You know what I mean? I'm showing like all the different esoteric information I found from the streets, the street world. And what makes it beautiful to me is that, like I said, you usually hear from that story like somebody saying, "Man, I got stabbed up, and as I was dying in the hospital, you know, Jesus came to me through the light." You know what I'm saying? Like that's usually the story. It's never like as I was in cell block 5, you know, big homie Mujahid taught me the Quran, and I learned this and that. Like, oh, that's deep. Like, yeah, that's my shit, you know.
Right. That's your story. That's that's your truth, man. That's just funny. But yeah, bro, going through that, what was some of the main esoteric information that you put in your book that you took in that you thought was important to let some people know about?
So esoteric is not so much about being deep and spiritual.
Yeah. I
think a lot of people get that confused. So they think the more about aliens or the more about being invisible, the better. Esoteric means it's not known to the public. It's not taught. You know what I mean? you could probably look it up and find it, but it's not
It's not
something.
public knowledge.
It's not public.
Yeah.
Sometimes people may even be like, you sound kind of, you know, off saying it.
I say you sound a little off. Yeah.
So let's go through the chapters.
Yeah.
So in chapter 1, there's a lot of stuff in there, but one thing I think mainly is that the Crips had a constitution that was made by a grand sheik in the Moorish Science Temple. Yep. The Nifu Kareem Bey.
Documented.
Chapter 2.
Wow.
Crips used to call each other blood.
When?
In the beginning. Cuz came later.
Why?
To differentiate. So when the conflict came. But in the beginning, everybody said blood, not because it's just a beginning was bloods.
Was it like brother blood? Like
well, yeah, so like, blood is just a
yeah.
Blood was just a black term.
That's what I'm saying. They said that in the 70s and 60s. Like I remember. Like,
yeah, even if you see dudes from London that come out, what up, blood? You know, so that was the common denominator. Then, you know, came cuz once it was like, you know, we're gonna, you know, create our identity,
right?
And we into it with them. You know what I mean? So we different now. Because you know, Bloods are what now? Nowadays they're the dogs, right? But you know, Snoop Dogg, E Dog, B Dog, like it was so many dudes named Dog that was Crips. So all that got separated later. Chapter 3, that the Stones, which are seen as gangs now, and they kind of conduct themselves as such, but they actually at the time were led by a man named Jeff Fort, who was a black nationalist leader and had connections with Muammar Gaddafi in Africa. Yeah.
So one of like the main things I'm like seeing from like there's a lot of these things are a lot more deep rooted in a lot of other things than what they are now. And like what we see them now and like what people want to portray it as, it wasn't even rooted in that from the very beginning at all. It was rooted through, like you said, through esoteric information, through black history, just through overall just wanting to know who we are and our power. But like you said, as time went on, it just seems like shit just did not go that way. Yeah.
So, you know, they say knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So the opposite of that would mean ignorance is, you know, a lack of power. You know what I mean? You that's how you fall. So the more we got attacked physically, the more it affects us mentally. Yep. So when they take those certain people off the streets, when they block certain information, now you get the new product. It's there. It still exists, but it doesn't know. It doesn't have the information, so it can't function. You know what I mean? Now what happens is, it's not that it's ignorant, it's that they've replaced the information. That's where the hip hop and the drug dealing and all that shit comes in. Like, oh, you know, so they'll throw up the same symbol, they'll wear the same thing to empower themselves, but it just be in the name of this shit now, you know. So then
they sold it and rebranded it into something else in a way.
We got infiltrated.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing happened with Nation Islam, Moorish Science Temple, UNIA, Rasta. We can go on and on. You know, a lot of these movements got infiltrated, and that's how they got weakened from the inside out. You know, like the movie Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah.
So the Bloods and Crips is just that on steroids. You know, it's somebody there. You know, oh, bam, 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 bam. What up, Blood? And then the dude come over here. Oh, they did it. You know, dude go over there. They did it. You know, it's all that. You know? But that's that part. That's the first 3 chapters.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is about chapter 3. The Bloods and the Stones are teaching me about Jeff Fort. So now we're getting into Moorish science. Now I get released and go to Moorish Science Temple. Now this happens in the same time. So that's 2019. Now right after that, I meet one of the guys, Supreme Understanding Allah. He's an author. So I meet him. He links me in with some guys. I go to Detroit. Now, while I'm out there, yeah, I'm learning more about the same lessons I already knew and been teaching, the 5% and all of that. But now I learn what's called plus degrees and just extra information.
Plus degrees.
Yeah, so those are like other lessons that come out of, from Elijah and Wallace Farr and all that are outside of just the 120.
Okay.
But
and the 120 is for people that don't
so
know.
120 is the 120 lessons that we require to memorize to be a 5%.
And then the plus lessons are the extra, obviously the extra.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So it may
Okay,
be
cool.
a lesson on the name Shabazz. It may be a lesson about, like, shout out to the homie Planet Asia, right? What that represents
Dope.
is when the planet was one body called Asia. We're taught that the moon and the earth was one body at first, right? But these are plus degrees. These are not just in the 120. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now, I say all that to say, when you sitting here with these dudes who've been from the nation 20 and 30 years, they know more than just plus degrees. They know all type of stuff.
Yeah.
So check this out. Chapter 4, in the original version of the book, it's called The Niggas. Now it's called Niggas Nagas. But
Negus.
yeah. Yep. Now, when I first wrote it, I just called it The Niggas.
Yep.
N-I-G-G-A-S.
Yep.
So it's a chapter breaking down. But it's called Niggas Nagas now.
Yep.
But the point is, I go into a full breakdown. This I learned in Detroit. Now, I heard about niggas in prison, studying all that. But not what I learned in Detroit. These niggas seem to know the whole history. I don't know.
Where they learned that shit at?
So first I was at G-Body house. Shout out to Big G-Body. This nigga got a videotape. I hope I don't get in trouble for this.
Hey, man, it's all good.
He got videotape. No, I know I ain't gonna get in trouble with you. I'm talking about him.
If you
He got videotape. His kids popped it on. And it was the entire history of the Nagas.
On a videotape.
Yes.
Okay.
So, people, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I knew the regular South Central, Kendrick Lamar, Negus. You see the white boy at the spelling bee, Negas, Ethiopia, Negas King.
Yes, I knew that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about this. I even knew about Niger, the Niger River, Niger, and the Egyptian word, Niger,
right.
God. That's standard.
Yeah.
No. There's a group actually called Naga in Asia. They even got towns and shit still to this day called Nagaland, like Nagasaki. This shit is real. And then
you said Nagaland?
Nagaland.
Is there us there?
Yeah. I mean, they don't talk English and shit.
I know that.
I know that. There's some Nagas there for sure.
Yeah, there's Nagas in Nagaland.
Yeah.
And there's a Nagaland in Africa.
No, it's a Nagaland in India.
And them there, but I'm just, nigga,
No, this is where it gets tricky. So let's go into the NOI teachings, right? Which is where the 5% teachings come from.
Oh, wow. Nagaland.
They teach that. Now the 5% gets a little deeper. So I think a lot of the guys will start in Africa. But I know if you're going with the Shabazz teaching, you're going to Farrakhan and Elijah and Wallace and them teach, which is the source. They teach that the original man came from around like that India, Arabia area and all that, like when it was one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went down into the jungles of Africa, which is where we got like the hair and the lips and all of that.
Right.
Now, here's what's interesting about that. When you look at the Hindu teachings, it do go further back. So in their teachings, the Nagas go all the way back to serpents. Now, what I find interesting is that now you got everybody talking about reptilian beings.
Yeah.
And I've been saying, man, that's us. You see the ancient Egyptians with the serpent. You see the ancient Aztecs with the serpent.
And what's crazy is this is all documented.
Oh, this is documented.
This is all documented.
But the crazy thing is it's so real that you'll have Indians that say it's the myths of the serpents and the serpent people.
Mm-hmm.
They still call them Nagas, though. And Nagaland is still there. Naga this, Naga that. So it's up to you to understand what's going on here.
Right.
Now check this out, though. back to this videotape.
Yeah, back to this about the niggas.
About the Nagas.
The Nagas.
So we got that clear. So this tape is not
this
about
this is the
niggas
Nagas.
in Ethiopia.
This is no
it's
Niger.
not about Niger.
This is
Africa.
the Nagas.
This is the Nagas.
On a videotape.
They had the Naga. They had carvings of the Nagas in India, like with afros, and they're going to get taken away, and they're going to be enslaved. And they even had a part I will never forget where they had like some instruments, like look like pipes and stuff. They were smoking. He said this was the prophecy that we was gonna fall and smoke crack and all that. I said this is turn this shit the fuck off. Like
wait, what the fuck? Wait. What year did this video? You don't even. It's a videotape that you don't even know, right?
This is some high power. That's why I said I might get in trouble even talking about it. I don't know if she might have made the damn self.
Damn. Wait, hold on. So this is a videotape about like the Nagas, and they had carvings in India of people with afros and all that, and they were getting taken.
So you see, like, so they have this in like even in the Sanskrit, in the Mahabharata book and all that, they got the Naga ancestors who were supposed to be like these half serpent, half human beings. But then you have their descendants, the dark, black Naga people.
Interesting.
Right? And they will be taken away. They're powerful, but they will lose their power. They will be taken away, and this the part of the video I said it get a little tricky, but I saw the pipes and shit. I said, "Come on, man." I gotta find that tape because I don't like telling this story and not be able to show some receipts.
Right, I have to have like a visual of this. So it showed a pipe, and it was pretty much like we're gonna. Niggas
all this is gonna happen,
yeah. Or smoking.
Well, see, we call it crack.
They
just knew some instruments and some graphics.
We spoke out of something.
It's gonna happen. Chemistry. No, I think we talk. I don't know. That's different. You know what I'm saying? This was some other shit.
This was some other. This is like taking us off. Like
for sure.
This is wiping us out.
Yeah, it did what it was supposed. So
it was probably crack.
So I say that to say, as funny as it was, you look up Naga Buddha, and you see that Buddha is the Naga Buddha. Check this out. People like to tell jokes and say, "You ever see the black Buddha when he got the knots in his hair, and he got the full lips and the nose, and he got the serpents?" That's Naga Buddha. Naga Buddha, like nigga Buddha.
Yeah.
Okay, check it out. Who's the other Buddha? Now here's the brainwash. We was taught that Buddha was this fat dude with the bald head at the Chinese restaurant. And they've been laughing at our dumb ass all these years. Guess who that is? It's a man named Buddha. Budai. Look that nigga up. He right there smiling, laughing dead at you. He's a Chinese man. He's a philosopher. He's very famous. And the Chinese people knew our dumb asses didn't know anything. And here's the thing. It's just like we put Haile Selassie for Black Jesus.
Yeah.
He's their Chinese Buddha. It makes perfect sense. Buddhism spread through China and became popular. But that don't mean they pick up their visual. This is something that we perceive, right? Every culture puts their own idol. So they practice Buddhism, but their idol or Messiah for them is the philosopher Buddha, which sounds not too far from Buddha. So that fat dude that we rubbing at the Chinese restaurant is Buddha. They basically fooled us into believing that was Buddha. We buying it on the chain. I mean, they're running it up on our dumbasses.
There's a few people who they do that with. There's a few. There's a few.
Yeah. So what I found interesting was though, when I compared that to what I'd already learned in prison, is what I mean by the lessons. So in the lessons, we're taught that Buddhism is 35,000 years old. And that's always threw me off. Like, okay, if anything, Siddhartha and them came later, Hinduism would be going back that long, right? Even if you say what the computer going to say, Hinduism go back to 4,000 BC. I'm saying when you study it, it talks about things from 35,000 years ago.
35,000 years ago. That's like the base of it, yeah.
All right. So I said, well, at first I justified that by rationalizing, saying, okay, he's talking about the Dravidians and the original people who established Hinduism, who were more like Buddha, basically.
Right. True.
They meditated, they dealt with the self.
Okay.
It's kind of like most religions. It got wild as it went on. More deities got added, different beliefs. So Buddha's Siddhartha point was to return it back to the original. That made sense to me. So okay, 35,000.
Which was 35,000.
But then
Got you.
I found out about Naga Buddha and said, oh no, this is literal.
Yeah.
The actual first Buddha, that's his ancestor, because he's one of the Buddhas. When you look it up, they don't look at him as the only one. Even now, I think there's a Buddha still alive. I think Dalai Lama, and he's still alive.
So there's
always a Buddha.
The Dalai Lama is definitely.
Yeah, so there's always a Buddha.
He's alive.
So
it's a lineage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I realized is the dude with the plaits in his hair with the full lips, he's not a version of the Buddha. They try to say he's the hungry Buddha. You ever heard that? He's the starving Buddha, and the fat one is after he eat the rice and he get happy. These damn devils twist the story up.
I heard that rice one.
Yeah, the fat one is Buddha, and he from China.
When I'm in that Chinese restaurant, I definitely heard that shit.
But the Indian original real one is the Naga Buddha. He got the 7 serpents around him, and he got the plaits in his hair, the full lips, all that, man. It's deep. So yeah, we just had chapter 4. That's the Nagas. Chapter 5.
Real quick, I gotta do this for Jerry. We're at the Bong Talk Sit-Down Series. El Toro Verde, one of the best commercials you will ever see in your life. I call it the Modelo of Weed commercials. Check it out, and we'll come right back with Chapter 5 and a little bit more. Nappy 2000, Crip Jesus.
Hey, man.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned, everybody. This is Bong Talk. I'm Nappy 2000. We'll be right back.
Crafted from the fires of dragons, chilled on the highest peaks of Everest, the Canagard is designed for perfection, using only the freshest herbs our planet has to offer, cultivated by years of experience. El Toro Verde, crisp, rich draw, slow resin burn. Be bold, be elegant, be the bull. El Toro Verde, you should be smoking.
What is going on, good people? This is the Bong Talk Sit-Down Series, and we are back. We got Crip Jesus in the building. So we were on chapter 5, but one thing I want to talk about real quick. I do want to pivot to the Black Indian Wars, and then the significance of that to you. Yeah, or the significance of that just history as well.
Well, just like it goes together. I'll keep it in one. So basically, the same way I give a chronology and history and even the descent of how we just was talking about Buddha and all that. I do the same thing for Crip. Because remember I told you I go all the way back to the Grand Sheik who made the Constitution.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
niggas
crazy.
like I watch every Crip documentary. I never heard that, right? So it's like
a
yeah,
Grand Sheik.
Yeah, so it's like
The hell?
I do that for everybody. Even when I talk about T. Rogers, you know what I mean, Jeff Ford, all that. So chapter 5 is dealing with the gods. So it's like, okay, in this internet age, a lot of us have taken that title and deal with it, you know, metaphor. Oh yeah, the gods, the black man. A lot of us may not even know that there's actual organizations, actual schools, actual place that established that. And there's actual regimen that they have you memorize and do to be required and recognized as that. You know what I'm saying? And we have other organizations that teach a similar thing. You know, so I deal with that in that chapter. You know what I mean? And on the esoteric side, like when they talking about what they're talking about, who are they talking about as far as you would see that in the Bible or whatever.
Yeah.
So just one thing in there. I teach that from what I got, from what they taught me, we're not the same as the character Adam in the Bible. Right? We're that's why there's already the serpent there. There's already, you know what I mean? Like we the people that was already there. So that's the Adamites, as they would call that, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people that's descended from, so that's chapter 6, Adamites. Chapter 7, Black Illuminati. Chapter 8, uh, history versus mystery. You feel what I'm saying? His story versus my story. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just, giving that other side, that other perspective. It goes from there. I think even chapter 10, Black Mafia, I think when we hear that, we automatically think of, Big Meech and them.
Yeah, Black Mafia family,
Yeah, we don't think of the Muslims in Philly
Mm-hmm.
that was really considered the Black Mafia by the federal government. A lot of us thought that we never even had anything organized on that level or that powerful.
What years would this have been?
68, the 70s. That's who was protecting Muhammad Ali. They the reason he even changed his name, because the Italians was on Cassius Clay for that money, that boxing money.
Yeah. Trying to rate the fights and all that shit.
Yeah, they came.
Yep.
They came and protected that. Malcolm X and them. Sam Christian. You know what I mean? These dudes, even Frank Matthews had to check in with them. So, but that's dealing with this era of crime. Going back before that, you have other underground organizations that are smugglers, gun runners. Because the same people who smuggled Harriet Tubman, they brought her to Philadelphia. The same place as this Black Mafia. So it's really more of the black underworld. Not the black market, the part of the underworld that's controlled by our people.
Right.
On a powerful level. That's just what's not spoken of. We're supposed to believe that don't exist. Right? So why it's even more kept under wraps is because a lot of these brothers practice Islam. This is like the Beanie Siegel. That's that JBM, Junior Black Mafia.
Yeah.
That's what Biggie and them was referring to, Junior Mafia.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know
all that shit is real.
I did not know that.
So,
I did not know that.
Basically, when she was smuggled to Philly. So they been had an underworld here. They wasn't smuggling her just, you know what I'm saying? They had guns. They spoke other languages. That's how they was able to trade with the French and the Spanish.
Yep.
After the U.S. You know what I'm saying? When they're against them.
Mm-hmm.
They're human traffickers because they're bringing kids and women and children that are property that belong to other places.
From the South.
Yeah. So this is real. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But once again, Crip Jesus. That would just be the history in America. That's the Crip. That's the first name. Your first name is your name in your environment. That's why you may have an Asian dude's name, Johnny Hung Wong, right? Your first name is the name has to deal with your environment, where you're born. It reflects your life right in front of you. But your last name deals with your DNA and where you come from, your heritage, right? Jesus, right? Not saying our inheritance is God.
Mm-hmm.
See, my name depends on your level of understanding. I mean it literally. I'm saying that when you go to the Quran, when you go to the Bible, when you go to Torah, the tribes it's saying he came from, that's us. Right? So, chapter 10, Black Mafia, as we talk about, I start off saying how I learned about BMF in the streets, but then I get into, like, well, I don't know, I just saw them on TV when I started about Black Mafia in the book. But
yeah, and you find out actually the Black Mafia from Philly, who was actually the Mafia family.
No, that's still in America. Jesus wasn't in America. That's Crip.
Yeah, that's the Crip. That's
America.
That's the American version.
Crip was started in 69. The Black Mafia in Philadelphia was 66, 68, something. It's still the same era.
Okay, same time.
The inheritance, and then we'll pivot. The inheritance. Y'all ain't ready for this. This is why, if you ask me, and I mean this, and when I get enough money to do it, I'm going to do it.
For sure.
I think the Blue Bible should be in all black and brown people's bedroom. You know how they got the Gideon Bible in all the hotel rooms?
Right, they do. They do. In
like,
the fucking
because
in the
everybody's
drawer.
like, if I don't read, like, bro, who reads the Bible? Like, but you pick it up from time to time and read a part and be like, oh wow, right?
Definitely.
That's what the Blue Bible is. It got an index in the back and all that. You might pick it up and be like, damn, nigga, I never knew that shit about Tookie. That shit changed my mind. That shit deep. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them, bro.
Yeah.
All right, look. Y'all
Yeah,
ain't
lighter.
Y'all ain't ready for this. No, I'm gonna like this after I say this.
Oh, for
When
sure.
we
Oh,
pivot.
yeah.
The word mafia, right, goes back to Sicily. That's nothing new, right?
Yeah, Italians.
Okay, Italians, Christians, they inherited that word and that name from the African Muslims who came there, took over, and then mixed in with them after they got took over by the Catholics. We all know that the Moors went there, but that's how they trick you by just using the umbrella term Moors. The specific Moors that, now I'm not gonna say the whole everybody was under this title,
Yeah.
but check this out. The people who led the expedition, the ships, the different warriors, right? The battles, the weaponry. They were of a family, a clan, a cold bunch of niggas called the Almafiris. Yes, that's where the word mafia come from. Mafiri. Al, Al is the in Arabic, so it's Al Mafiri, but Mafiri, Mafir, Mafiri. So the Mafiri tribe came up out of Yemen, marched. These are the black Arabs. These are the ones down in Yemen that's real dark, look like Nipsey.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine a bunch of Nipsey Hustles, but buff too.
That's crazy. That's a crazy ass image, bro.
March to Egypt of all places. Now check this out. I am not making this story up to sound good for the podcast.
This is crazy. This is wild.
They were in Yemen when Islam started and all that. They were there, but remember, Islam started in Arabia because they didn't have Islam in Arabia, so they wasn't fucking with it. You know where they was fucking with Islam at? In Africa. King Negus. Look this up. Don't believe me on this one, because I don't want you to believe me this one. You be like, he gonna throw the Negus in the religion. I'm not lying. So King Negus, this is why they don't even put him in the Quran. They like, don't put all that in there. Right? But he the first one to even accept the Muslims. The Arabs was trying to kill the first little group of followers of Muhammad. They didn't even pray in public. He hid them. They got a city still to this day called Negash. That's the first official city in Islam. They won't admit that though. Before, like,
of course not.
Medina and all that got established. So they had Negash, King Negus Ashama or Abjari. He recognized them. The Arabs still didn't recognize them. They had a African slave named Bilal, who was the first one to sing out loud. You know, there wasn't no white boy Arab dude. La la. You ever notice it don't matter if you can't sing, it still sounds like you can sing when you sing the Muslim stuff. You be like, damn, it don't matter who it is. But nah. That's because it was the hottest nigga that went double time, triple diamond, platinum ever.
Nigga diamond platinum.
Bilal.
Nigga Michael Jackson platinum.
Bilal. And before him, no one prayed in public. So I say, like, you can't even say it counted before him. Because y'all was hiding. How can we even believe what y'all said? Like, oh yeah, we was doing this and that. Like, we don't know. Y'all never even said that.
Yeah,
y'all was just hiding. All we know is King Negus, the guy was like, oh yeah, I'm with them. And then the little homie came out and said, la, la, ha, la. And then y'all cracked off.
Mm-hmm.
So these is the direct first line ones in Yemen. The Mafiris.
Yeah.
So they was around for all of this. But this is when Muhammad is gone and the Arabs is together as one and everybody Muslim now and they finna go take down Egypt because Rome had Egypt at this time. So this is the first time. Don't look at the Arabs how they look now. This is before the Arabs got all that money and had all the white wives and took over and got all like looking like Drake.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Nipsey Arabs. Buff Nipseys.
Buff Nipseys.
All right, Buff Nipseys. Right, so the Buff Nipseys.
Not the Drakes, the Buff Nipseys.
No, this before they turned into Drake. The Buff Nipseys, my Furies, ran up in Egypt, took over, shut it down, came over North Africa, like Carthage, where Hannibal and them was at. They got all that back, and then they went up in Sicily and all that, because they was just taking all that back. That's not really what, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when they went up in there, established everything, this is how their name got left there, and even when they became illegal, this is why they whole name and way of life became shh. That's the my fury way to move. That's the my, you know what I mean? They had their own way of governing things, their own way. You feel what I'm saying?
Interesting.
And if you think about it, ain't that some nigga shit? Like,
I was say it is.
I'm gonna leave this right here, and anybody better touch it.
Or say nothing.
Right?
Or
That's
say
mafia.
nothing.
So
Or
it's
say
really just
shit.
the
Yeah.
Italians. Like that's them niggas there. That's the mafia. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's really
Interesting. Damn.
So all that's and more in the Blue Bible, man. So basically, that's our history on the esoteric side. For what I gathered, me coming from the Crip perspective, I'm pretty sure there's other niggas that may talk about unicorns and different things, and that's fine, And so the Black Indian Wars came from the questions I got from there as I was teaching out the Blue Bible. People like, man, I heard you mention the Gullah Geechee. Give me more of that. How we end up over here? How we end up over there? I heard you mention, the Cherokee got into it, because I do mention these things in there.
Yeah, we've been there. We was with these people the entire time.
Yeah.
Man, we was displaced everywhere, bro.
Well, the question I got that made me have to write the book was people kept saying, so are we this or are we that?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of our people need a monolithic story. So it's like, I'm like, bro, it ain't that simple. It's not that simple for any nation. Even if a person come to you and say, I'm Mexican, I'm like, bro, I fuck with Mexicans. I'm not racist. Like, they'll tell you real quick, that's their nationality.
Yeah.
They know they're different in their race. They know the difference between a mestizo or somebody that's just native or that's Mayan or that's just straight Mexica.
Oh, yeah,
they can break it down,
they
bro.
Can go. They can
you feel
go
what I'm saying? If you can break yours down, they'll go there with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, then they'll just keep it simple. You feel what I'm saying? So I tell them, like, what it is we strip our nationality from ourselves because how we was taught with the black nationalism. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as opposed to just embracing both or embracing, your full reality, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I wrote Black Indian Wars, because it was like, even if you don't subscribe to neither one of those words, black or Indian.
Yeah.
Who was that being described as that? You feel what I'm saying? Who was the Indian that was black? Was there a black Indian? You feel what I'm saying? So then you start to find out these people these people who were, because Indian just means anybody that was indigenous. Whether you talk about the Indians in Asia, the Indians in America, right? It was just the people that was there when they got there. So this is when you find out that native, indigenous, and even Indian, different. You get what I'm saying? So indigenous is who came with it. Indian is who's already there when the Europeans got there. Native is just who's born there. Right? And all of them are right and exact because you have some rights under all of them. I don't think you should be born in LA and you don't got no rights to LA, right? You get what I'm saying? So there's always levels to it. And my point with Black Indian Wars was to show how racism has basically stripped us from common sense. So I put, in the book, it's funny because when it starts off, I know people are automatically thinking, Trail of Tears, Cherokee, Blackfoot, the common shit we hear. So the first chapter is called Black Indians of Europe. It's like, what? Well, are there not indigenous people of Europe? Yes. And were they not black? Yes. And they was in nature and all of that. That's all the game. The wah, Wild West cowboy. That's all manipulation. We was the cowboys too.
The John Wayne. I was there's black cowboys out there. There's definitely black cowboys.
We the wild. We the cowboy. We even the conquistadors. Right? Because that's even racist to think there's a whole realm of reality that you just don't exist in because you're dark.
I was going to say, presently, right now, there is towns in Mexico with people that look like us who have no rights to Mexico as we speak.
That's what I'm saying. There's
several towns in Mexico like that. So it's very interesting how, I mean, like there was like you said, there was a lot of native people. Like you said, there's a lot of different ones, but there was a lot of native people already in these locations, along with the indigenous, along with the Indians as well.
Let me
So
ask you
it's
something.
crazy.
If somebody's grandfather owned his grandmama, is his blood still not both of them? Just because he got an afro?
Yeah, for sure.
So you telling me if you could prove somehow, because each generation you go back, we dealing with 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great-grandparents, 64 great-great-great-grandparents. I'm pretty sure after 64 we could find some scandalous shit. Some PDFers, some owners, some all that, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
So you telling
for
me
sure.
if the ones he spit out that look light, that kept it light through eugenics, got some land, I don't got a part of it coming to me because I'm the dark side.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
But that's how we're taught.
Yeah, that wouldn't make
with
sense.
the black victimhood thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of thinking, no, F that. I need that.
Yeah,
Let's go to court. You feel me? We're taught, man, he got us, man. Just like they always got us, man. We've been slaves since the pyramids, building this shit. You know what I'm saying? The bullshit.
He's like, man, I'm conditioned. Even my condition has been conditioned.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I show how it's just a brainwashing. So I show Europe because I show, look, do you understand the legacy we had in Europe? How many of these names we brought? Not even just back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've had girlfriends who look themselves up, find out one side of their family's all from Portugal.
Right.
They just moved out here,
Yep.
owned some land. Somebody lost the land. Somebody else sold it, and they turned ghetto. And the other side is regular black, and they just, whatever. Their name is Green or Brown or some shit.
Or Williams or some shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I've seen it over and over. My last girl, her grandmother is from Spain directly. Not no more descended 10,000 years ago. She's Castilian. But her family didn't like her because she deal with black people. I don't know how that dynamic is out there in Spain. You feel me? This shit is real all around the world.
Oh, they don't like us nowhere.
But she didn't know this about herself.
Yeah.
She found this about herself while we was together, and I was spitting all this to her. Like, I could look at you. I bet you got this and that in you. I'm just thinking in you. I'm not thinking, yo, grandma.
Yeah, got you.
Because even if it was, I would have thought it was some crazy story, like your grandma got captured on a boat and brought it. No.
Right.
Her grandma came directly right over here. That was even weird to me. I'm like, what? How can you just come over? But when I looked at the time frame, it seemed like it was like around one of them world wars. So who knows what the ships was doing?
She could have like caught on a boat or some shit.
It's
over
deep.
there.
It's
Yeah,
deep.
she could have got. Yeah, honestly.
It's deep. So you never know. My grandfather, he's the one who told me we was Gullah Geechee.
I remember
You
you
know
were
what I'm
telling me
saying?
that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's one thing that's very important, I think, when it comes to like the generations or just like our grandparents. There's just so much history that they have that if we don't obtain or if we don't ask or if we don't really listen, I mean it can be gone in an instant. So it's crazy how like your grandfather told you that, and now with that information you put like everything together and what you were learning.
Well, no. He told me because I thought I knew everything. I was
That's what
searching
I'm
and
saying.
looking. I had all the answers. I looked at my cousin. I said I was going to change my name. I said I ain't going to change my name. I think it's this and that. Then she said, well, Grandpa said we Geechee. I said, what the hell is that? He said, I don't know. Go ask him. I went to ask him. I looked it up. I just couldn't believe what I was finding. They talking about we was killing the plantation owners. We wasn't no slaves. We was warring.
I was
I'm
about
like,
to say
huh?
my ancestor definitely killed his plantation owner to get out of there.
Yeah, so I'm
He
like,
definitely did that in the 1800s. That joint got you good, man.
Ain't got no leaf on it. Ain't got no seatbelt, man. Just riding.
Oh, damn.
Crips need Jesus too. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that great.
Hey, listen, man. This is the point of Black Indian Wars.
Yeah, man.
You know how it opened up
Huh.
with ODB.
Oh, yep.
You know, he Shinnecock Indian.
Mm.
So that's the introduction to the book. You feel what I'm saying? It closed out with Sarah Rector. You know, she was Creek Indian,
Mhm.
youngest black millionaire in her time. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people who got it documented. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Who and what
Mhm.
they is, went to war, got theirs, and all that. And the point is, they can't stop it.
Yeah.
So the point is to stop the information, to stop us from coming together to claim what's ours. Because there's people hitting these courts. There's people winning these lawsuits and all that.
Mm.
Feel me?
So, with all this information going into, we're going into next year. We got any more books we can find from you coming out?
Yeah, but for sure
Because you're a
drop.
whole author, bro.
Yeah.
You're a whole author. So, is there books coming out?
Well, you know, I've been selling them myself.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't
out the
been,
trunk.
I'm out the truck with. I
Yeah,
ain't been on
yeah,
Amazon nothing. So next year I'm gonna get on Amazon.
yeah.
I'm gonna tour around the country, get it really out there. I'm gonna for sure drop one more because everybody been all my loyal people that been with me from the beginning. They like, man, come on, we need at least one or two more. We need to be dropping these all the time.
Yep, yep.
So I'm gonna drop at least one more, probably at the somewhere in the first quarter of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Drop one more. But my whole goal next year is to get this thing out there around the country, around the world. I've been selling copies out the country too,
Yep.
but just really get it out there. I know once it's digital, Amazon, it's finna go crazy. So
Once that
know what I mean?
ebook go out, ooh, that's gonna.
I got ebook
You got
version.
the ebook version.
Tap
yeah,
in to blackilluminati.com. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I be getting a lot of visits though. You know what I mean? I probably gotta fix how I navigate and all that.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? But next year too, I want to make sure I get the music out there because
I love the music. Love the music.
well, if you check out my catalog, it started off, Crip Jesus, like it's saying Crip more than Jesus, but
That's okay though.
no, I'm
Hey,
saying
we gotta start somewhere. We gotta start
no.
somewhere.
So
Yeah, for sure.
so
Yeah.
so 2020, Crip Jesus was a Crip that was trying to get on this Jesus shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God body. You know what I'm saying? The Black Illuminati. It's real. March 30th, 2020.
Yep.
But then, as I was traveling, I remember G Body warned me. He said, if you don't teach that, he said if you spend all your time with, before I break this down, we 5%ers. That's the poor righteous teachers. We the 5% of the population that know the truth and teach the truth. The 10% are the bloodsuckers of the poor. Those are those that know the truth and use it to manipulate. These numbers probably have changed by now, but they represent the fact that the 5% is the smallest group. The 10% is twice their size. The 85% is the overwhelming majority. They're the blind, deaf, and dumb. Not that they actually blind or actually deaf or actually dumb. It's to this esoteric information. Okay. So he told me that when you with the 85, if you're not teaching, after a while you'll become them if you spend your time with them. So that's what happened to Crip Jesus, Crip version. I woke up one day, I was in New York in the strip club with a mink on, with a white man wiping my shoes off. Some girls around me calling me daddy. I said, I don't know what happened to Crip Jesus, but we can go back to the drawing board with this shit. Then I got
go back to
locked up.
square one.
Yeah, then I got locked up. I was reading the Quran. I was writing the Blue Bible, the first version of it. And I got out. And when I sat in front of Adam 22, I realized that the reason he had kept saying my name, because my name was ringing when I got back to LA. Everybody was, oh man, you been saying your name over there. Everybody was on my dick just with him saying my name. And I realized everybody was on my dick because at that point, Crip Jesus had not really dropped no bombs of knowledge. It was very much hidden. It was called the Black Illuminati on purpose. I felt like the Illuminati was very good at sliding the satanic innuendos and rituals and all that on us. They know how to make it funny. They know how to make it real slick, right? So I was trying to do that with the knowledge. Where you might be thinking you watching some ghetto shit and you didn't learn something on accident.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was doing that. But the more I was doing that and actually going to these hoods and getting enthralled with them, the more that was leaving the lesson. It was like We here. We with Draco. We got the Carbon 15. We got the hose. I don't know what happened. So I said, all right.
Where's Jesus?
Yeah, where's Jesus? Where's Jesus?
Where's Jesus at?
Where's Jesus?
He ain't here.
Jesus became like one bar.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a sign of that.
It ain't there.
It's an album. It's a mixtape I made during that era, and I listen to it all the time, and I laugh. I'm like, bro, this is the most un-Jesus, Crip Jesus shit ever. It's called The Blue God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, with a name like that, you think it's finna be like, dude, this shit is gangster. And the best thing I say, even close to a Jesus metaphor, is drip, drip everywhere, walking on water.
That's wild. That's wild as hell.
Drip, drip, we walking on water. Feel me?
That's funny.
That's a 15 minutes.
No, we're good.
Oh.
Yeah, we're good. No, yeah, we're good. We're good.
So, drip, drip, walking on water, all that, got gangster, all that. So, as I was sitting across from Adam 22, I realized why he was so enthralled with the name. In his eyes, and everyone else that heard it, including those that hated it, it was obvious that I was going to be like some dirty scoundrel, make fun of Jesus version of Jesus. And this was like a wet dream for him. Like, oh my God, Crip Jesus, and the Crips recognize him and all that. And he's coming up with Crip Mac.
I was about to say that's.
We finna be talking about eating booty,
perfect,
all that, right?
yeah,
It's finna, we finna
perfect.
hang Jesus on the cross with some hoes. It's going down. When he seen I was using it as a Trojan horse for Islam,
Oh, you're getting shut down.
but for Islam of all things, and I yelled out, "Shout out Farrakhan!" He said, "Oh, get this nigga off the TV." I don't know how they pulled this off. What was this? Was this a setup or something?
Well, when you go back to the first contract with the Crip, it goes back to what you said. What was the?
Danifu Kareem Bey, yeah, the Grand Sheik.
I mean, it goes back to a Grand Sheik. So yeah, it's just very dope to see, bro. Like, it's just really dope to see your journey. It's very dope to see your journey. It's very dope to see, honestly, like the different places you've been, and just like where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely like way better place. And like you said, bro, you're a fucking author now. Bro.
Yeah.
You are like a fucking author.
That's when I finished the book. Like once I
Yeah.
saw Adam 22 and realized what.
Yeah, you have to finish that book.
No, once I realized what he thought it was supposed to be,
Uh-huh.
I said, "Damn, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I gotta the only way to fix this is to come with this now. It's gonna be like bipolar.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be like the complete opposite. But it's gonna be like a catalog. So all the other shit's still there. You still banging drip drop walking on water. You still banging my religion, money over bitches.
Yeah.
Still, look, my religion, money over bitches. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the furthest I was going of the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my religion, if I say, baby, I'm the guy, fuck hell, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like,
That's
it's so
wild.
shallow,
Yeah.
at that point, right? So I came back, and what made it so cold was, at that time, I was really going through these things. So at that time, I caught a case, but I told you I got locked up.
Yeah.
So it wasn't panning out like it was supposed to. So I had a warrant. I'm on the run.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel like talking about drip, drip, walk on the water. I'm mad I even did that shit. I'm Crip Jesus. Nigga, I'm supposed to be teaching this shit. What the fuck happened? So now, I'm coming back with a vengeance. Now, I got rid of the jury. I got rid of all my clothes. All that. I went and got a fez. All that. I got some thobes. Nigga, it's on. Salam alaikum. All that. We still helping out the van with the chopper. But, we Black Mafia in Philadelphia, Allah, Islam now, right? We go down the journey, right? So now the content, it's even sicker though. They feeling that because now it's like it's within the catalog. And it's like, I'm still mixing, it's still me, still my personality. So at that time, that was leading to the Blue Bible, the album.
Yeah.
So what it was is, remember I told you I wrote the book while I was locked up.
Yeah.
But once I saw Adam 22, I'm writing more. Like, oh wait, there's more mysteries being revealed. Like, look, I figured out who he is and what's going on. So a brother named Crumb TV started reaching out to me.
I've seen Crumb TV.
He's conscious community.
Okay, yeah.
So he's like, man, you're the one. This and that. He wants me on his channel. I'm all over his channel. I'm on there damn near every day. So now I got the confidence. I got the following. on the conscious community side, they ain't got nothing to do with the music. Some of these people
yeah.
ain't even heard none of my music.
Yeah.
Some of these people go to the music and get mad. They like, who's this gangsta ass nigga? Who's it? He got 2 deep songs. So I said, I gotta make this shit match. So I dropped the Blue Bible album. That's We Still in Morocco, produced by Nitro G. Shout out. That's the same one produced the Blue Tang album.
Yeah.
So he been there from day one. He from Baltimore. He Black Illuminati. But he wasn't them people like how me and you is. We just vibe so hard, we may not see each other for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he only had like a few tracks with me. I think he had like 2 videos he directed. He had like 2 tracks he had produced. But then he did We Still in Morocco. That was like the one. That's when we kicked off the Blue Bible with. So the Blue Bible became like the soundtrack where the direction I was going, how I was kind of sprinkling more of the knowledge in there, and even how I was looking and all of that. It was deep, and even where I was at, it wasn't fake. Like I said, I was on the run. I was mad at the government. I was mad at I was mad at the fact that I had all that knowledge and I was on such a positive journey, and I fed into that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got caught up in hustling and drug dealing and getting arrested. I'm like, how? Like at this point, you know what I mean? And it's like, you gotta be careful with your power, because it's like, I was in these places and I had options to do what I wanted. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, and with that power too, which I usually ask people, like, I usually ask people like in the conclusion of the show, or like when I usually do, if you could tell, I usually ask like advice, but since you use this word, if you could tell yourself 3 things or 3 powerful things of advice to yourself, what would you say? 3 different things.
Don't cut corners. You feel what I'm saying? Like, go the long way. Because what happens is there's a lesson, not even just a lesson, forget all the extra deep philosophical. Right. You get the discipline and the ethic and all of that from going the long way. When you cut the corners, you can tell the people that cut the corners. When finally meet them in the workforce, you're like, oh, this dude, get the hell out of here.
This nigga, man.
Yeah. So don't cut the corners.
Yeah.
Number two.
Yeah.
Don't worry so much. When you set goals and you don't get there when you think, sometimes you get to, doubting yourself, and you let that other voice kick in. Now you done worried yourself into a whole other problem. You know what I mean? And then the shit ends up panning out in the end anyway. So, don't worry so much. Just do what's right. Go with not even so much go with the flow, but, go with what they call the gut feeling. That's the solar plexus. You feel me? So when that solar plexus activate, go with it. Number three, I would say, listen to women. Yeah. So
message.
Yeah. So I had like a very male dominated life. Like I had a dad. We probably had the best relationship and all that, but I still had a dad. I had step pops. My mom got married at a point. I had a brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No other siblings. I got no sister. Had uncles. You feel what I'm saying? Had a couple aunties, few aunties. Didn't spend too much time around them. I think it was one auntie that I spent a lot of time around, my auntie Charlotte. And that was because when she moved out here from Brooklyn. So even when I was real young, before she moved out here, didn't see her much. So then I went to prison young. See what I'm saying? So coming out, I don't know, bro. It was like, it took years. Like, it used to be like just the vibration of the female voice used to be like, I'm picking and choosing what I'm hearing, What I'm saying? Like, I said this and that, you just don't fucking listen. Like whatever. I look years later, hindsight, like, everything with a woman had been the best with me. Like, from the way I dressed, to the way my skin was looking, to the way my meals tasted at that time, to the way I was talking, to the way I was smiling, to the way I was, to even decisions I made with man. Like, for real, like, let's keep it real. Like, if the homie call you and be like, bro, I need you right now. You sitting there with your girl like, nah.
Yeah.
But you just by yourself, you like, all right, bro, yeah, here I come. And you drive over there, you sitting there looking all stupid, and he ain't even ready yet, and you feeling gay. Like, oh, man, what the fuck is wrong with me? Now, if I would have been with her, I wouldn't even did this gay ass shit. Yeah, bro. So everything in life was better with women. I should have listened, and I'd have been probably rich by now, you know.
And in conclusion with that, in this show on that woman thing, shouts out to a woman who linked us to get on this show, to get on the show like that. That's crazy. And shouts out to Ray for taking pictures. So it's a very female dominated situation tonight on Bong Talk. We got Crip Jesus.
Amen.
I hope you guys enjoyed every bit of information and conversation we had today. For sure.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you, brother.
I hope you enjoyed that grits and jam.
Oh,
You about
man,
to fall asleep, man.
I don't even know what I'm smoking now. I just know it's on. Nappy 2000, you feel what I'm saying? Peace and love.
Peace, love,
Shout
and
out.
soul.
Yeah.
That's
Shout out Ray, Jazz, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to
Hey,
Jerry.
hey.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Bong Talk. You can either watch or stream this on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. And also, thank you to all the sponsors of the show.